Hey all, this is Xenoxis, and this is part 3 of the Xenoxis show for the 31st of July 2025. So actually, let's check the Legends car. Have they changed here yet? Okay. Ooh. Alfa Romeo. Interesting one. There's a Gear 4 car actually. Ooh. Wow, the Gear Roadster. We were so fucking cool looking like a fucking spaceship or something like that. Like, this car is really fucking cool. I mean, wow, that's like that was a trophy car. Stuff that, I mean, like, it's definitely worth its price though. This. Let's just get that. Because that's a Gear 4 car, that's a really cool Alfa Romeo actually, because that's an old classic. Okay. The Super GT500 is still there. That's 2.1 million for that. We already have that one. They might have actually updated this use now. I wonder if it's still gonna be here though. The McLaren is still there, okay. How many cars is that now in total? Because it only shows unique cars, right? Number of cars in garage. Actually, that's not true, right? Because that doesn't show you actually, that shows you the car in the garage. But that's actually way more than what I actually do have, right? Yeah, I bought 210 cars, but doesn't it show me I have 55% of the car progress, at least, but yeah. Why couldn't they add more collector levels, right? Because here's the thing, right? In my opinion, like, collector levels should be able to go up to like maybe 1,000 even. Instead of that, but then you could have it so that, each reward doesn't like take like an insanely long time. Like, once you reach 50, like 51 goes pretty quickly, and then like, because that could be a way to constantly give you like roulette tickets, or have it so that you can earn, for example, like a scalable, like the whole, the whole, what do you call it, the whole driving thing, right? The whole driving, like the daily driving thing, basically. So I have 301 out of 439 cars, basically. So 54% of the car collection. 539 cars is what the game has in total. And stuff that's, yeah. I have 77% of the cafe done. There's 2 bonus menus left. There's a lot of extra menus though. So that, but yeah. Yeah, missions, of course, license centers, music rally, circuits experience. Jag vet inte riktigt. GR1 prototypes. So you have one 10 lap on Fuji Speedway, 10 laps on Genwara Highway. I only got 3rd place on that one for some weird reason. Let's do Fuji International, 950 or less. That means that we can use the Valkyrie. So, do we want to begin with softs though? There's 7 times the tire rate. We need to get hards, mediums, wets, and intermediates, just in case. High RPM. Right, then there's 10 times fuel wear. Regular, non. I wonder if I can install. So that has 4 by default. Racing hard. Just use the Valkyrie here. I don't know how often it is that there's going to be rain on this track. You can also do this. There is no rain. So, okay, traction control, maybe set it to 1. I just brake balance. And we just put as -4 on the front there. So. Okay, here we actually go up against LMP cars. So this is of course a hybrid car, by the way. Because they are both electric on this, I believe. Because I don't think it starts with nitro as default. But I don't think it should be called nitro. They should instead have it so that, because there are cars out there nowadays, they have like DRS or whatever it is. It's not the same thing really at all, you know, stuff that, you know. Oops. Okay. See how this goes, of course, obviously, because, you know. Now, I probably want to make it way more lean and stuff that, you know, I'm not taking Cliff 6 on me, and it's going to be good enough, you know. I don't know why this would consume so much fuel and stuff that compared to like other things. There's a lot of cool cars here, of course, obviously, that are in this class. So Alpine VGT counts as a GR1 car. There are, of course, certain cars that don't count as GR1 cars that are still in this category and stuff like that, because, yeah. Because certain ones were only like prototypes, they never like came out and stuff like that, you know. It seemed like they would be bad where they're heading in and stuff like that, but yeah, you know. Because here's the thing, right? You can have, for example, the weather radar up, and then like, yeah, it can look like it's getting like really dark, but there's like no rain at all. Stuff that can definitely happen, because otherwise we should have been able to see it already. And of course, if there's only light rain, then you don't even need to switch to wets or intermediates even. So yeah, Bugatti. Yeah, there's the Mazda one. And the GT1 right. And there's the Nissan one. Yeah. And it's the Sauber. It's the Porsche. And the Valkyrie actually does have, like, in real life, there is an actual Aston Martin Valkyrie LMP car and stuff like that. So yeah, there's actually a Le Mans game that came out recently. I definitely hope that that will be a console game as well eventually and stuff like that, the Le Mans game. Because that one actually looks very, very interesting, and I love Le Mans and stuff that, so, that seems like a really, really good thing and stuff that. And I know that there's like a set of course and stuff that. But set of course seems to be way too focused like online and stuff that, like, if you don't plan to drive online, then I feel like a set of course is not, particularly great. And I wish that Microsoft would just stop the whole you need a Microsoft account to like play like the Forza game, because I got the most expensive version of that, and I thought like, yeah, of course, because at first I thought that, oh yes, I can just create a Microsoft account, but the main problem is that my email address that I'm using for the Sony account is an email address that I've already used for an Microsoft account, because back in the day there's so many different Microsoft accounts because I got a 360 so many times, and then I could never remember what my password was and stuff like that, because I had so many 360 consoles I went through, and the people were doing a top list of best like gaming consoles of all time, and you have a 360 on the list. I'm not going to take anything those people say seriously. Was 360 a good console? Good console? No. Good games? Yes. Because was it a good console? No. And even after it had been out for a long time, there were still people that had problems with consoles. I had the original white Xbox 360, like the premium model, the white model, like with a bigger hard drive or whatever it was. Or a hard drive at all, because the other one didn't have a hard drive. You had to use a memory thing. Memory sticks, I believe, that you stuck in the controller or something like that. Or maybe I'm misremembering. But anyway, right, and then for example I had the 360 Elite. That I think was my second one. Then after the Elite I had one of the slim models. I think it was a black slim model, because I believe they came out with several of the slim model as well. That there were also like a 360 that came out later that was also a slim model, but there was a slim model of the Elite that came out later. So I had bought the regular slim model when it came out, and then I had the Elite slim model or whatever as well, which was a black one. Because I believe the first slim model was a white one or whatever, so yeah. So I went at least through 4 360s. So and that's just crazy, because they think about it, that means that even though the console supposedly sold better than the PS3 at first and stuff like that, the thing is that's not impressive if you have a console that peaked several times because of the thing crashing. And it feels like that was fanboying basically. That was basically like American people being like, oh, John's 360 best thing ever, stuff like that, And so there were people that were mean to the 360, had it in the most dusty place possible, and they never had their 360 overheat or whatever, right, and stuff like that. And it just felt like some people just got unlucky, and that was because even in the base model, there were different processors, different like cooling units or whatever, right? Which is actually what caused the overheating, because it was not that there was anything faulty with it, but it was just that we run console and stuff that to try and have it up. So, eventually overheat. But I had it long for it overheated, and I got the same model. Yeah, and I liked the real model of the PS3 and stuff that, like, that was really, really cool. Especially due to its backwards compatibility and stuff like that. PS2 library, entire PS2 library, and maybe require a premium subscription there, but then you will have access to all the PS1 games, all PS2 games, including like exclusive ones for certain areas. Right, so racing odds again. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it fill completely here. I didn't curve. I hate that. Pit lanes is the absolute worst thing because sometimes it's not very clear where the pit lane is. Sometimes. Okay, there is rain coming actually. Seemingly. We put the TSS on like 1, right? 1. Whoa, Nelly! Okay, now we can. It's back. That's the club. Okay, so there's definitely rain, but it's not the heaviest rain yet. It's not the heaviest rain, it's very light still. Now I've gotten 3 seconds, yeah, because that's the penalty for. Oh, that's deeper though. Let's TCS2. It should hopefully be enough. Yeah, maybe I should turn on the ABA or the this to higher. I don't know. Also, certain cars are like way better in handling in like rain, and usually the AI is not very good in rain at all. I can often very easily beat the AI in rain and stuff. That I say that, and then that happens. This is really that bad. What is the rain showing? Come on. Yeah, okay, so it's like. Yeah, it's like should be really bad. All cars should be able to drive fast in this. Yeah, everyone is gonna go in the pit now. So that also means that I can easily take some positions here. I don't care. Wets, full wets, I think, is what we need to change into. Wets. Don't refuel. Okay, and then we'll set this back to weak. Weak on the ABS. Well, then that means that it doesn't show you correctly there and all when you check the weather thing and stuff there, because yeah. I mean, if we would have changed there when we did our first pit stop, if we would have changed into full wets there, then it probably would have been good. Because there's no way to drain with like stops, like 2 laps or whatever. Of course, there are cars that gets way less affected by the rain and stuff that, but I often feel that it has to do with the tire wear also on the stage as well. So because yeah, the green and the dark blue is when you really need. Yeah, the yellow one is even more intense there. That's almost comic. TCS 2 brake balance 5. Yeah, we might even need to turn it down even more and stuff that, you know. Because you have to realize the curves get like really slippery and stuff that, yeah. But I think also goes with wets are way better than others, right, you know. I don't know if we have enough time to catch like the leader though and stuff that, unless they need to make another like pit stop or whatever. Okay, so one only had intermediates on. It's actually very good for us. I can check these to 1 now. I should have done that earlier actually. Okay, yeah, there were people only putting on intermediates. They were coming in for fuel actions and stuff that, like there were a lot of people that did really bad decisions there. It's, yeah. We can get a podium maybe. No, it's not that ardent. We keep doing that, man. Skokebun. Or is there a way we even take the Mazda? I think we can use the whole turbo thing though in the straight. Like in circle basically. Maybe we don't have that. Okay, we're faster than him. Yeah, I'm using the overtake now. Come on. Oh, that was just someone that I was... Yeah, we got third place anyway. But that was just because of how bad the post though. Okay, and yeah, the one car that I just drove would have been even better there. That kind of makes sense. I'm guessing if we put in the better engine on this, we could have easily won this. But that was the only time that I used the overtake there. And that's still a third place with that. And yeah, that's a 30-minute lap. Let's do this one then. Is there any chance that... Can I get this under 950? $956. We could put more weight, so we need to get it to 950. Okay, good. And then I do all hell already have access to those. Yeah, but the Red Bull is also really hard to control. But it should be even better on the tires and stuff like that, and like, you know. And I think we traction control on. I forgot if a week is going to be good enough on that though. I guess we put it on the front. It's not often that I drive with this though, like I'm really bad with this and stuff like that. That is just because it's very sensitive and stuff like that. And I forgot even if I changed the thing. Because you want to set the things to the maximum so it's not too sensitive, because otherwise you're gonna lose driving to stuff. It's crazy that I haven't taken a single position yet, even with this, you know. But that's because getting used to how late you can brake with this is absolutely insane. Maybe TCS higher, maybe I don't put this on default at least, and maybe traction control to it's just that this shouldn't consume many tires at all, because it's a Formula car, like compared to like the regular cars here. TCS 5? Maybe. I bet it's needed, I don't know. Because often on these you want to set it to the absolute highest possible the whole, you know, whatever you call it, the thing that controls the tires or whatever, because basically, when you control basically how sensitive the car is when you're to like turning, and if you have it set to as high number as possible, you need of course the right tires for it. For example, 5 is recommended the highest if you're using racing tires, but you can go even higher, and that makes the car stiffer, which is actually really good. Certain cars are way too sensitive in steering, and then it's like very, very easy to oversteer over them. Yeah. Traction control 5 definitely seems to be the way to go. I think they were driving slowly on purpose because of the yellow flag. This is my favorite driver, Dumont. I always used to like I know that France usually didn't have a high chance of winning, so I often went with I often instead went with well, I always went with France, even though I know that generally speaking Spain was often like way better if you wanted an easy win or whatever, because you could win like extra balls whatever if you put the correct one, but yeah. But I also think that they should make it so that you cannot sell a car that you have gotten as a special reward for something and stuff like that, because yeah. But certain cars I have that has a special livery, of course, that is for like the manufacturer's cup and stuff like that, you know. Like that Aston Martin Valkyrie, I sold my old Valkyrie basically, whatever, because the other one is the one with Spain thing, of course. Display. And normally they shouldn't have a chance against the Red Bull and stuff like that, so because in Gran Turismo 5, of course, getting the Red Bull was really hard, because like even getting bronze took like a really, really long time and stuff like that. There was a lot of people that never cleared it and stuff like that. And that was basically get the car and stuff like that. But then later on they changed the thing so that almost everyone could just get the Red Bull like just very, very easily, because otherwise it was an ultra rare trophy, even though it was a bronze trophy, which was completely weird. Like they should have made that a gold trophy or whatever, because yeah. Sometimes they're so good at blocking. Sometimes they don't try to block, sometimes they're just following whatever the racing line is. Okay, they're already pitting, some of them. Start there, let's go. Focusing super hard. I don't remember if I said that it was the 31st of July for like 2025 and stuff like that. And I don't know if they made it easier to drive or something like that, or maybe you should always use TCS5 on it. Basically, because if you try to drive it, for example, without the drive on, it doesn't work at all, because then it brakes way too heavily and stuff like that, so yeah. Yeah, it seems that I can get like one more lap, maybe even with this. Then with power set to 1 even still. You can see we haven't used up our tires at all, also, which is absolutely insane. So that's where the pit lane is. Okay, I need to remember that. I keep doing fastest time. That's the dodge. It's all really likes this dodge, man. And the thing that would be fun is actually if the car they used were actually cars that they really, really like they actually asked, you know, like, hey, Sol is what car do you like? Hey, Sol, what car do you like? You know, stuff like that, you know. Or that the car were actually something they were actually using themselves when driving in Simulator or something like that. Yeah. I mean, imagine if I would like, imagine if they would take like drive people that weren't like super great drives at the game. Offer that lower level of whatever, because yeah. Yeah, we need to. Yeah, the Red Bull is absolutely crazy. Because it was like basically like, what if there wasn't regulations in F1? Like theoretically you can build this car. Theoretically you might say that though it's just a science fiction car, but that's actually not true because they actually told the Red Bull team, like, okay, like what if that's what car looks like with no regulations. So that then I realized just, you know, because this has a suction. So, but what type of engine that actually did exist on don't change. Then just go for maximum fuel. Even though we don't need to. Yeah, you need to drive all the way over there until the pit lane stops, because sometimes the pit lane goes up way longer than you might think and stuff like that, which is why it's always break the pit line sometimes. Yeah, this stage has changed so much compared to what this stage used to look like, you know, stuff like that, because yeah. But yeah, but cars like this, I definitely feel like, I wouldn't say it's the straight of it, but it's still, you know, like and then we're still always really cool. But then it feels so dumb, like why are we often the finale and stuff that always down like with the red stuff and stuff that, because that feels so like unrealistic, because okay, this is not a race car actually in real life. Like, so why not, you know, why not have it then in LMP cars or whatever, right? You know. Because if they want about be serious about the actual, you know, like esports, then have them actually drive cars that actually exist in real life. But then it also feels like at that point they would have to like introduce all the modern LMP cars and all the modern GR4 and GR3s, because there are also cars that are fake that were never used in GR4, GR3, or what they are supposed to represent or whatever. Because yeah. And imagine that the Gran Turismo, right, that instead were focused around like racing and stuff that, you know, I don't know what the title will be, like maybe go back to calling it A-Spec again, and then have it be like, you know, GR4 cars, GR3 cars, but maybe also call it what they're actually called. Maybe start with the whole thing of like, it's the stage that we're driving on. Like make sure that you have all the Le Mans cars in the game, basically. Like all the modern ones, but even then like include like old Le Mans cars as well, so you get more variation. But I would also say this, for example, like having something where you could belong to a certain specific manufacturer, and it would be like a permanent choice. But it would have to be for each class, basically, like even the lowest like racing classes. Because then imagine, right, then like if that made you only have access to certain cars or whatever, like, oh, you cannot drive this car if you're using this brand allegiance or whatever, right, you know. And then people might say, oh, but then what about all the cars that exist in the game and stuff that? And maybe there would be races that you could do there where the UI against doesn't matter, where you can use whatever car you want. But then it's sort of cups or whatever. That was weird. I think I touched the curb there or something, but yeah. Hopefully there are ones that still need to take like a pit stop or whatever, you know. And there's the VK1 version of it, which is a lot slower than the other Tomahawk and stuff like that. But I thought that the Dodge Tomahawk was a really cool idea. But then there are also certain cars that aren't well balanced at all, you know, and stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, what's the point of this car? Okay, so we have 2 more laps, technically 8, or technically 3 because it's 8, 9, and it's 10. And that's really bad because you lose so much. Oh, thank you. For buns. This so much, and still they are like so far ahead. And that's just because certain races, so one doesn't even have the difficulty icon on it or whatever, that is a more difficult race or whatever. Because sometimes it feels like they're getting a boost if they're getting too far ahead of you. But that's the cool Jaguar one, right? Yeah, that's the really cool looking Jaguar one. Pretty certain, right? I forgot what it's called. It's the Jaguar XCA9 from '88. It's absolutely insane, by the way. Okay, he came on pit, so you know. And I go flip nanana. It sounds like they're singing that. I don't know if that's what they're actually singing. It's getting darker also. And actually I wonder if that actually affects the tires or not. Which it should actually do, by the way. I don't know in these two laps if we're going to be able to take like the lead or whatever, you know. I know this car is like way faster than anything else on the track. Unless of course they're using some sort of car that you shouldn't be able to use. It is. Like if they're using like a... We will see what they have, of course. Because if they're using the... Yeah, that's a Nissan. I think that's a Nissan. It looks like it. But maybe they didn't have it with the turbo installed, maybe. Okay, Gallo is needing to pit. Okay, he was driving the Nissan. So is this the Peugeot? No. So that's a Vision car. Okay, McLaren VGT. That's interesting. Yeah, 41.70 is the best lap so far. That's a good thing about the Red Bull though, that it's often like possible to keep on improving it because there's very, very small margins and stuff there. Like sometimes you can brake extreme late, but then there's a risk that you take for braking like very, very late and stuff there. So yeah. fact though that it took this long to like overtake everything and stuff, that is absolutely insane in my opinion. And how about using this car was an actually good idea. So basically when it comes to the 800 one or 700 one or whatever, I have a certain setup, because the Nissan one is actually very, or not the Nissan one, but actually this Nissan one. Okay, last lap was a bit slow there. Yeah, so 17:53. That's actually pretty good. That's faster than the Tokyo thing, because the Tokyo thing is 26. So how much cash? 160,000 for that time. Not really worth it, I would say. So this was actually very interesting. The McLaren one was so good. Okay, so 77%. We could theoretically then use it in the rain stage in this one. How much time do we have? Yeah. Yeah, we can switch to wets because they are worth less points. So first things is the 5. Yeah, let's change to the leaner setting though here. With brake balance, I've got go. And here's the thing that on my steering wheel, this is so much easier to change because then now the thing that would be really cool if this gets less affected by rain, because imagine if I can avoid Lord, they think they take me. I don't even need to be behind them and be in the slipstream. Stay alive. Yeah, they definitely feels like they've nerfed it. Like you should be able to reach way quicker speeds than that. Or maybe you need to have the racing box on, like the racing transmission, the racing one. Because the top speed should be, you should be able to go like 340 at least. Okay, it's getting a bit darker. Jag tar nog 10 kilometer av banan. Because we see, for example, if we reach the pit stop here, whatever, because the pit stop is here, I think this has a very, very good pit lane, right? Because the pit lane is right here. Just to stay alive. You know, one of the parts ended up being really, really short and stuff there because of the dumping. And I wonder if the rain always comes on the same lap or if it's just random. So I don't see any rain yet on the map, so you know. Maybe it actually has to do with time rather. Stuff that, so if I'm driving very, very quickly, you know, it might. And yeah, we shouldn't even need to have to change tires and stuff that, by the way. Time in the morning. Because here's the thing, right? If we can wait long enough with doing the first pit stop or whatever, right? Because the first pit stop is at 3.5, so 3 more laps at least. We can do, yeah, at least 3 more laps. There's rain coming from that way, okay. There's the Nissan that I like to drive, the Xenoxis one. Yeah, the R92 2CP 92 years model. And yeah, the rain is coming now. But that's just the light rain so far. Whoa, 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 Gallo, what the hell are you doing, mate? Boy, that's just... Okay. The blue one is what I'm worried about when the blue one is coming. Because I wouldn't want to quote-unquote pick up fuel already. So after that I want to try and wait. Because we have TCS set on the highest possible also as well. We haven't gotten hit by it yet though. So that seems that it's gonna hit us. Green is really bad if it hits us. Yeah, I'm gonna refuel for fuel here actually, and it should probably last the entire race if I do. Because here's the thing, right? If it gets as rainy as it did last time, and they have to drive really slow and I can drive in full speed because it's so wet, then that's gonna be really good. That's bad. If it's like drives up immediately and stuff that, you know. Because yeah, if the rain doesn't get as bad as last time, then it's good. Because we need that thing to happen that happened last time when they drove like really slowly and stuff like that. I'd say early on. I don't think that's true. Hopefully the rating does come back though. Because here's the thing, right? If the fuel can last the entire race, then that would be good. Because otherwise the wets are gonna get eaten up very quickly and stuff like that. Because this didn't happen last time. Last time it was pouring down. So now it seems to change. Because I mean, as long as like the rain comes back, or a lot of it, then we should be able to last the entire rest of the race. Because it needs to get slippery enough so they go super slow for at least one lap. So they're not able to change into like intermediates or wets or whatever. Okay, now it's raining more again. Okay, TCS 5. Yes, they're going in. I wonder if more of them are switching to wets or whatever. Yeah, okay, looks like there's going to be more rain. I'm gonna do my own path by the way so we can finish this race. So that's it. And that's of course we have reached because they don't allow you to record if there's even like 20 gigabytes left in the hard drive, then you're not allowed to. Even though that seems a bit weird, you know. The worst thing we have used up so much of our wets already, which is really bad. I mean, yes, your tires cannot quote unquote recover, or whatever, if you want to call that a thing, whatever. But yeah, yeah, the rain hasn't been super beneficial, unless there's going to be a lot more of it coming. So weird, like the last race was so much more rain and stuff like that, because yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next part.